Jesus Christ, this CAPR stock today. All right, it's April 29th. It's a Wednesday, and just doing my early recap here. Man, kind of a slow day for me. In hindsight, I felt good about it this morning, but looking back at what this stock did after after I walked away, Jesus, talk about a buy and hold day for longs. All right, well, so I did a pretty good job of sitting through some junk in the beginning, and then you can see here uh, had a pivot level drawn, waited till this hit it, and jumped in at 376. So that was a nice play. Took a quick 20 cents out of it though, and that's okay. That's okay. Um, could have held, obviously. I mean, obviously, zoom out. Could have got in here at 376 and held until $10, right? That's how things work. Uh, so anyway, took a quick 20 cents there, sat through this, entered in on this drop here, actually got in high at like the 450 level, and then just took it off at an average of 466 there. What happened here was I wanted to sell half on this pop up through the 60s, um, and then hold some. Now in hindsight, I probably would have ended up bailing anyway because it did drop down to the 40 level here. But what happened is I put an order at 466 and it dropped, so that didn't get filled. And then as it came back up, it was hitting like 464, 465, and I hit another order. Turns out they both went through at 466, so I ended up exiting my whole position. But so yeah, obviously in hindsight though, if you hold that, you make mucho dollars. But anyway, I mean whatever. This is so I ended up $3 on the day, 350. So two trades, two winners. That was it. I didn't. I looked at a bunch of other stuff. I was watching I have some scanners that like measure volume and high of day stuff, and didn't really see much pull up on those. There were a couple trades or a couple stocks that got halted that were just junk. There was one. I forget what it was. I thought it started with an H. That's not going to pull up in here. Sometimes they're saved in here. Um, but it just did. Hall was it? Yeah, because it was Hall. It was Hallmark. That's right. It was this one. Anyway, this got halted early in the day, somewhere through here, I think. Yeah, right there. Yeah, after this candle, but it opened low and it washed out. But I just didn't. I didn't trust it because I wanted to see it open up, come down, maybe wash out from there and bounce, catch a bottom bounce there. But anyway, yeah, CAPR. I sat through the rest of it and watched it climb and was just waiting. Like, okay, once it hits this level here, the previous high of day at the 550 level, the shorts will probably slam it. And they tried uh, multiple times. And then I was even okay. Well, maybe it'll hit like this level, which is a little higher, the 580s. The shorts will slam it, and they tried, and then it hit $6. And by this point, I want to say, did I? I think I tried something late in the day, or no? I guess I didn't. I don't see an order. I thought maybe I tried something here around 7:30, but I sat for a long time. I mean, from 6:45 or so till 7:30. So it's a long time to just sit and not do anything. And there were a couple little things I could have played through here, where I was sitting here looking at it, going, yeah, okay, it's going to pull back to this pivot and then bounce again. And it just wasn't. I didn't have enough conviction in it, and so I didn't take it. In hindsight, those would have been good plays. I mean, a nice little 50-cent move here off this pullback to five. Even here would have been okay. Would have gotten a couple cents out of that. there were some good plays to be had, and I didn't think this thing had the power to hold up. Neither did a lot of shorts today, and some people got blown up pretty good on this one. I think playing the short side. Uh, so I kind of was expecting it to roll over. I mean, every time it pulled back a little, I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna wait for it to really roll over. Like I remember through here, I was thinking, I think it's gonna head toward four again. Um, it didn't. It held up. Um, Even here, I was like, okay, it's gonna flush down through five, which it kind of did. I mean, it hit the low 490s, but I didn't expect it to hold there. I was looking for a move to like 75 or 50, and then maybe a bounce. And it just had staying power. I mean, you just watch it ride the nine here. Although something I noticed about like when it rides the nine like this sometimes is it looks like it touches it sometimes, but it actually doesn't touch it when it makes that wick because the moving average is adjusting as that happens, and it's not until a candle closes higher that the moving average moves up to touch the wick there. Just something interesting that you might not actually see it touch when you're trading. I don't really use that as a trigger anyway, but just kind of as a general guide. Uh, but man, what an impressive day for longs. Anybody who caught this long, good, great work. I mean, that's crazy. A low of 375 and a high of 11. Oof. So hopefully, so I probably won't trade tomorrow. I don't trade on Thursdays right now because I do some other work on Thursday mornings, which I'm going to try to maybe get rid of that position so that I can trade 5 days a week. Especially, I've said this before, but especially when if I move to another account where I'm paying a lot in fees. You know, if I'm paying for the data and paying for the platform and all that stuff, um, I'm going to need to trade 5 days a week to make it worth it. Um, Plus, it's just if I'm doing well, it's silly not to trade 5 days a week. And then eventually, if I can leave my full time job, in a year or two or three or whatever, then I can go back to doing this other work that I do on Thursday mornings. So, um, just not in the morning. I'll do it at a different time of day or in a different capacity. So, anyway, it's volunteer work that I do. It's not anything super important, but I mean it is important, but it's not like if I don't do it, I'm not gonna uh, starve or anything like that. So. Um, anyway, I also am considering making the jump to a different kind of account. I'm trying to see if I can show you my buying power without showing my account. And I forget how to do that. There it is. No, okay. When you turn the privacy thing on, it does all that. Doesn't matter. I can just say it out loud. So I used up pretty much all my buying power yesterday that I had for that day, and then this morning I had, I don't know, like 500 some, which was fine for this stock because it was $3, so $4, whatever. I was only spending $40 a round trip in buying power. But yesterday when I was playing the ones that were up around $20, it chewed up a lot of buying power. So I like to have the flexibility to be able to trade whatever I want right now. I could throw more money in this account, obviously, and because right now the account's around $2,100, so I could throw more money at this account and start increasing share size and do it this way. But it might just be time to open a margin account somewhere else, offshore maybe, and throw roughly the same amount of money at it and have some margin and not have to worry about buying power so much. But that would mean in order to make that worth it because of the fees and everything, I'd have to have a pretty good increase in share size. Like I'd have to go from currently 10 shares to probably more like 100, which is that's a big jump. I'm not sure that won't affect my trading. Although, you know what, I could do that in this account with a small stock like this one day and just see how it goes, right? Like I could have bought 100 shares today instead of 10 and just played that way instead. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. At some point, I think I just have to make the jump and grow a pair and go for it. Um, but I am somewhat concerned about the fact that that might just kind of kill my mojo that I've got going. Um, Yesterday we didn't look at Trader View, so let's look at it today. Come on. So all of these trades since I started this style, um, it's been over 2 months. You can see this huge. Anybody who's watching for the first time, back here I was through early March. I was trading 1 share at a time, and then I started to slowly increase to like 2 shares, and then 4, and then right here I basically jumped to like 10, and then took a big loss this day. Um, Really, per share, it wasn't as big as I think even this loss was, but because it was 10 shares, it looks huge on my P&L curve, right? But then spent the next week and a half because this big loss day was last Monday, so today's Wednesday, not this past Monday, but the one before. Um, but I'm up above that. I made that back and then some at this point. So yeah, I'm up. I'm a rich man. I'm up $18.97 since the beginning of March. But again, it's just about the statistics, wins versus losses, all that kind of stuff. So if we look here, my average daily gain loss is 56 cents. Again, what you could do, say in a margin account with a decent amount of money in it, I could multiply that by at least 100, right? Which that would be $56. Multiply it by 1,000, and I'm up 560 since the beginning of March. Oh, sorry, that's per day. I'm an idiot. So, multiply that by 100, and it's $56 a day, or it's $560 a day if I'm trading 1,000 times the share size that I'm trading now. I realize there's other things to be considered, like partial fills, and then there's obviously there's commissions and all that shit too. But just playing with the numbers to make it easy. Um, my you can see total is well, yeah, 1897. We went over that already. But per share is only 3 cents. That's not great. I'd like to see that higher because with commissions, that's gonna get ugly. But anyway, I seem to be doing well so far. I might end up throwing more money at this account and staying here for a while. I'm comfortable with it. There are some drawbacks, the way this thing trades with the buttons and adjusting share size this way. I'll have to see if I can. There might be a hotkey to make this happen. I can't adjust these buttons any lower. I'd like to be able to do that because when I realize I'm only trading with 10 shares, but I like to be able to cut it in half to kind of test what it would be like to sell half, hold half, that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's popping up so quick that to go over here, adjust the number like with these button clicks, or even with highlighting it and then typing or whatever, right? If I could just get my cursor in there and hit an up arrow or something, that might work. The issue then is sometimes you have to like click somewhere else. Oh fuck. See, isn't that something? Usually I end up clicking in the time and sales. But like if it's at 10 and I want to adjust it to 5, if I do it now, if I hit one of these buttons, it doesn't register as the change number. It registers as the number before. You have to like click out of the box for this number to actually become what the order goes through as. So normally I just click on something over here in time and sales and that helps, but it's not helping right now because there's nothing in time and sales. Stupid. Oh, there, that helped. But anyway, because I've been bitten by that a couple times. I changed the share size and so the arrows work. But I wonder if there's a hotkey that can put my cursor in there without having to click away. Because sometimes it's just quicker to use hotkeys, right? So I'll have to look that up. Anyway, that's probably enough babbling. It was a good day. It's green. Got my profit and loss back up to an all-time high for me since March. It's probably time to start adding some more shares, which means probably adding some more money to the account, just so I have enough to play with. So it's pretty exciting, actually. Anyway, that's it. I'll be back Friday.